Alright, our first online class. Yay! Happy to see you here, guys. Super podcast about sharks is about to be on this video. We're gonna talk about the truth about great whites. So, all of the tasks must be written in your copybooks, unless there are some tasks that I will point out and tell you not to. Alright, usually you translate the texts at home, and then we discuss them in class. So, since we have an online class, we are gonna do everything step by step. So, before we start reading, look at the section A here. Type, like all sharks, great whites are a type of fish, length, nets, teeth, or whales. So, sharks are like, they look like whales sometimes, right? Does this whale remind you of a shark? To me, it does. Well, size. They are 4.6 to 6 meters in, and we have a set phrase. It is in length. In length, you may write it down as a whole phrase. In length. Weight means how many kilograms they have, so they can weigh up to 3,000 kilograms or more. Also, pay attention to this word, weight and weigh. Weight is a noun. Weigh is a verb. Jaws. They have up to 300. So jaws, if you touch your face and find your teeth, so your teeth are in your jaws. You can chew with your jaws. They have up to 300 teeth in several rows. Food. Their diet includes fish, seals, sea lions, and small... What can they eat? Can they eat nets? Probably they can, but they're not nutritious, so they eat fish. Threats. They're threatened by overfishing and accidental catching in nets. And situation, they are endangered. If you don't understand some of these words, press pause, figure out what they mean, understand all of the text, become more educated about sharks, and then continue watching. B. So what do you think the text will be about? You figured that it will be about sharks. Cool. Nice. I hear some of you even making jokes about this. So yeah, go ahead, stand-up comedians. Discuss with a partner. If you have somebody to discuss it with, go ahead. Don't be shy. Brothers, sisters, your toys, whoever you have, talk with them. I recommend you to stop here and translate all of the unknown words and then listen to my reading and try to imagine the whole picture. I will help to understand some of the words. Shark attack. In sunny California, Craig Rogers was sitting on his surfboard, scanning the distance for his next wave, when his board suddenly stopped moving. He looked down and was terrified to see a great white shark biting the front of his board. I could have touched its eye with my elbow, says Craig. The shark had surfaced so quietly he didn't hear a thing. In his horror and confusion, he waved his arms and accidentally cut 2 of his fingers on the shark's teeth. He got off the opposite side of his surfboard into the water. Then, with Craig in the water, blood flowing from his fingers, the 5-meter-long shark simply swam away. Over 100 shark attacks happen each year. Of these, 1/3 are said to be great white attacks. As a result, great whites are often categorized as man-eaters and thought to hunt and kill humans. And thought to hunt means people think they kill humans, they hunt them down. However, this is factually inaccurate. It means it's not true, it's not exact, not correct. Since great whites rarely kill their human victims, in fact, a person has a greater chance of being killed by a lightning than by a great white. A lightning, you can see, it's the bright flashes of light and electricity in the sky that happens during rainstorms. With frightening jaws that hold around 300 teeth arranged in several rows, a great white could very easily kill a person. Yet, surprisingly, most great white victims live to tell the tale. It means that some people believe that that great white sharks eat people. They kill them. But then they say, if they kill people, they have 300,000 teeth. Why do we have the people who survived the sharks? Let's figure it out. Shark researchers are trying to comprehend, to understand the reasons great whites attack people, and why most of those people manage to escape a horrible death. One of the most common explanations for great white attacks is that great whites don't see well. It is thought that they often mistake a person for a seal. So the sentence says that people say the sharks attack people only because they don't see well. In the right bottom corner, you can see the seal or sea lion. They look the same. A very tempting snack to a great white. Tempting means you can't resist. You can't stop yourself because you want it a lot. If you love chocolate, you can't stop yourself from eating it. So it's tempting if you have it on your table. But there is reason to doubt this, because some research now show that great whites can actually see and identify seals very well. When attacking seals, great whites shoot up to the surface and bite with great force. Shoot up to the surface means that they rush to the surface. It's like you have a gun and you shoot yourself to the land to bite a piece of the sea. However, when they approach humans, they often move in slowly and bite less hard. They take a bite, feel them over, then move on, says Peter Killimley, author of The Secret Lives of Sharks. Which means they don't attack you ferociously, brutally. Then they understand that they shouldn't bite you and just go away. Shark experts like Killimley hypothesize that great whites attack because they are actually curious animals that like to investigate things. It means they attack not to eat or kill people. They just want to see what it is, something new. They believe that it's possible that great whites use their bite not to just kill and eat, but also to gather information. According to this idea, once a great white identifies what it is biting, it simply lets go. The shark approaches you, bites you a little, understands that you are not food, and just lets you go. Swims away. Even though such experiences are unlucky for people like Craig Rogers, perhaps when sharks bite surfboards, other objects, or even people, they are likely just trying to learn what they are. To press the pause, understand the text, if you didn't, and translate the sentences into English. All of the sentences are made of the vocabulary from the text, from these two paragraphs. The second task for you is to write a short story describing the picture using the red words from page 92, 93, and your story should start with this sentence. It means you need to write this sentence into your copybooks or pieces of paper and then continue the story. You can write as many sentences as you want, but you need to use all of the red words. It was an ordinary day of a surfer who was scanning the distance for the waves when all of a sudden, and then you write what happened next. Mind your grammar, mind the tenses, and don't forget to use the proper vocabulary. Don't forget the articles. You need to match the red words to the definitions here. To put a group of objects in a particular order. What is it? Biting, horror, confusion, categorized, inaccurate, victims, arranged. A particular order. You put them in order. It's arranged. So you write number 1, arranged, and then you finish all of the rest in your notebooks again. Now look here. It says great whites can be found in seas all over the world. In some places, like off Australia and the southern coast of Africa, they are protected. So you can see the purple colors. It means that they are, you can see the sharks there very, very rarely. The pink color, the bright pink, they are often there. Frequent means often, very often. Occasional means you can see them also often, but not that often as frequent. And range, it's the distance where you can see them, these oceans. Look, North Atlantic, South Atlantic, Indian, North Pacific. A great white glides through the water. Glides means it swims very smoothly. So it glides through the water, and it can swim at speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. Super fast. You can't just swim away. Number 4 task. You need to ask one what question to each paragraph. Your question may start with these words. What question means it starts with WH. What, when, why, what kind. So you look at the whole paragraph and may ask a question. For example, why didn't Craig hear the shark approaching? Or when did a great white shark bite the front of Craig's board? Whatever pops into your head, you need to remember the order. You have a special word, then an auxiliary verb. For different tenses, it's a different auxiliary verb. For example, it could be do, did, was, is, am, have, had, and so on. Then you have a subject. What did the shark, the subject is the shark, do? And then the verb. And then the rest of the sentence. Here you need to put the sentences in the chronological order. It means you need to put the first sentence that happened first. Look at the whole text and put them in the correct order. Grammar time. Contrast means you want to compare two sentences and you want to emphasize one. You want to show that it is even more emotional. Let's look at the examples. I'm an excellent swimmer. Okay, cool. But I rarely go swimming. Wow, it's impossible. So I swim really well. And the contrast is, but I almost don't swim. I don't go swimming. I'm an excellent swimmer. However, I rarely go swimming. Look how they are placed. You have but or yet, and you have a comma here. However starts the new sentence. You have a comma after. Though I'm afraid of the water, I went swimming. It means I'm afraid of the water. I don't like to be in water. But I did it. I went. Though, it's at the beginning of the sentence. No commas here. And then you have a comma before the second sentence. Despite the bad weather, or in spite of the bad weather, comma, I went swimming in the sea. Here you don't have any commas. So look, press the pause and look at how you use these connecting words and then do the task. Rewrite the sentences using the connecting words. Sharks are dangerous animals. And you need to have yet. Many people also think they're beautiful. If you remember, you need to put yet here and put a comma before yet. Let's see. Animals, comma, yet many people also think they're beautiful. Number 2. Seals and sea lions may look similar. Where will we put it? Yes, we will put it at the beginning of the sentence, and no commas are here. Although seals and sea lions may look similar, comma is here, they are different species. 3. You have the word but. It works just like yet. Many people think the great whites are the biggest fish on earth, comma, but whale sharks are much bigger. And number 4, despite we have at the beginning of the sentence, no commas, despite many sharks' warning signs, on that beach, people still go swimming there. On that beach, you have a comma here, by the way. I missed it, sorry. This task is extra. If you want to do it and to get extra credit, do it. You need to answer the questions in written. Vocabulary practice. Let's do it together. When they're out at sea, shark researchers put food in the water. The tempting or confusing smell of the food makes the sharks come close enough to the scientists to study them. Confusing means they don't understand the smell. Tempting means they like the smell and they will come closer. So it's tempting. Whale sharks are the largest sharks in the world. Never bite or chew, although they have thousands of tiny teeth categorized or arranged in more than 300 rows. Categorized means the teeth are in groups. Arranged means they are in an order one by one. So it's arranged. Scientists arrange or hypothesize that the decline in the number of sharks may be related to overfishing. Scientists say it's hypothesize. They say and they don't know for sure. They are taking guesses. Arrange means put in order. So the correct answer will be hypothesize. The decline means there are smaller and smaller number of sharks. Overfishing means the people fish too much. So, they gather means they come together, gather together near Cape Town to eat seals. Seals is our today's word. Plentiful means a lot of in water. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature gathers or categorizes hundreds of shark species as endangered. Gather means they bring all of the sharks to one place. Categorize hundreds of sharks means they put them into groups, classify them based on their qualities, characteristics, features. So the word is categorize. And the last task for today will be filling in the gaps. In 1974, writer Peter Bankley wrote the famous novel Jaws. You can see it on the right side. About a killer shark that hunts its human, and human it's an adjective here because we have its, like his, her, human, something. We have we need to have a noun here. Hunts human victims. This is the word. The next year, Steven Spielberg made a movie of the same name. While the movie was exciting, it led to some about the true nature of great whites. Do we have a contrast here? So the movie was exciting, was cool, but something happened. So people stopped understanding the nature of the sharks. So what do we have here? It led to some confusion. The movie made the great white into a symbol of and death. Horror and death. We need two nouns here. However, the behavior of the shark shown in Jaws is actually quite inaccurate. We read the text that the sharks rarely bite humans. Here we have a verb. Years later, Bankley and Spielberg both felt bad about spreading false information about these creatures. In his later life, Bankley worked to educate people with more factual information about great white sharks. Factual information, you can understand the root of the word, it's fact. Factual information means information based on facts. And a short grammar reference. You have in, and it can be added to some words to form the opposite meaning. Accurate, it's okay, it is correct, exact, we understand all of the details perfectly. Inaccurate means it's not correct, not exact. Some details are missing. Inability. Ability means you can do it. Inability means you can't do it. Action means you move, you have a lot of dynamics. Inaction means no dynamic, passive. Well, thanks for watching. Don't be bitten by sharks, and see you some other time. Bye bye.